Alright, welcome to the hills. Before I start this video, I have to preference by mentioning what this game is that's on the screen before I dive into what I'm trying to figure out, but also think I have a good idea of what happened. So web phishing. I made a video on it on my channel 9 months ago, and essentially this is tough actually. It's like Animal Crossing but like discounted. There's more underlying to this than the game meets the eye, and it's unfortunate because now we're about to jump into this, but something happened very dire. Because now if we go over to this discussion tab, game dev needs a grip, we deserve a refund, safety concern, house modding, I miss web phishing. Interesting. So we're gonna start with the game dev needs a grip because I feel like this is probably the most important one. Game dev needs to get a grip. He wouldn't survive one day in the real world, taking 10-month break from work because of offensive comments that they made to straight people, and his supporters need to get a grip as well. So this is loaded. This is a very loaded thing. This response, he got doxed. You know how bad that is. You don't know what kind of people are out there. This is very true. Waiting till the game updates to post this is so pathetic. Go touch grass, you fake like, whoa. Now imagine this is safe stuff. This is safe to present. This is cool. But you could just imagine, but you can kind of guess what I'm referring to. You can kind of guess. So apparently, web phishing dev, after faking their own doxing to justify scamming every single one of us by leaving the game after getting called out. Just by that, I don't know if you guys can understand it, or like this is gonna be a very rambly, long-winded episode. So now we're going to the web phishing Reddit. So basically, the developer added a straight title. Here we go. We're getting to the information. After many people requesting one, when he did, people noticed it was in quotation, and the description read which made a lot of people upset, which it naturally would. Then the 4chan Sojak party, I don't know anything about this, got upset because of how gay the game was and proceeded to dox the developer and his family, then harass him off the internet. It is so unfortunate how a great game was ruined by such idiotic, stupid ass excuse of humans. Now here's the thing. One, getting doxed is not good, no matter what the point is. This is probably where we're gonna get to, but getting doxed never been a good thing. Like it's not okay. However, yeah, this title right here is crazy. Yeah, you can't blame the dev. You all have to wake up. All games need constant updates, especially online games. I'm not talking about a battle pass every month. A video game is a product, and people are paying for a functional product, something web phishing is not. The game is riddled with hackers. That's why I'm not installing the game, and severe performance issues. It bothers me that they're taking responsibility away from Live Dead for what's happening. Yes, they doxed him. Yes, that's not good. That's very wrong, and I feel bad for him. Exactly. But if he cared about the players at all, he wouldn't allow everything to be sold in a deplorable state it's in. Most likely, this will get worse, and the game will only be removed from Steam when he can no longer make money from it. Selling, publishing, and maintaining a game is a responsibility. I agree with this. If you can't take this responsibility, then you don't make any games, or simply remove the game from Steam, because otherwise you'd be scamming people with an incomplete game full of bugs and cheaters. Names aren't displayed. The game's lags when there are more than 5 people in the same server. Servers constantly crash, people flying, people spamming infinite items, saved data is deleted out of nowhere. This happened to me, another reason why I'm not playing the game. All your progress is gone. People using exploits banning everyone from the server, no Steam, etc. This is actually a legitimate problem. Another reason why I'm not back on that game. The worst thing is lack of chat moderation. You can't report anyone because there is no moderation system. Facts. If someone is being racist, you can't report them. Mega fact. You can kick them off the server so they can just join another one and do the same thing without any consequences, which means that anyone can be exposed to inappropriate comments. It gets real wild in that game, which is a big problem for child safety. Bingo. We demand quality products from large companies and complain when they sell us junk. Should we demand less for someone because they were depressed, or because according to others he doesn't owe us anything? That's not how life works. It sounds unfair, but web phishing deserve all the negative abuse. If you continue to support the developer when he's doing absolutely nothing to fix the issue, you are only giving him more reason to keep doing nothing. Now, I can understand this from a logical standpoint. Now, people are not going to like this or agree with this. Yes, but getting doxed is bad. But there are more people that are in agreements. Not gonna lie, I actually agree with the game probably should just stop being sold 100%. Because it's now been a year, I believe, based off all this, that the game hasn't been touched. It's also perfectly fair to leave negative reviews if you're not happy with the state of the game. That's everyone's right as a consumer. There are definitely issues that need to be addressing, largely around moderation at this point, since all you could do is kick as a server host. I will say though that ignoring the, I don't even know what that word is. It's pretending nothing happened, justify our knowledge, just simply don't care. I feel there's a decent chunk of people who just don't really get the severity of what happened. Dude probably had to change all contact details and move house because of base fidelity degenerates. Of course, this is naturally going to happen, and I feel like, again, no one's saying doxing was the right idea in any way, shape, or form okay. It's actually unhinged and undeserving and just ridiculous. There's a reason we acknowledge that doxing is awful, and more countries are thankfully making it a crime. Reasonable people wouldn't be trying to pin blame on the guy he's gotten extremely sick or injured, assaulted even. So why is this different when it's terrorizing someone mentally? I mean, I know why, but I'm not getting into discussion on how mental issues isn't taken seriously enough. He might even have been advised to not engage online under lame dev anymore. We just don't know. But the amount of victim blaming in one way or another has been gross. I don't know why this case has resonated with me. For want of a better word, so much, to be honest. Yeah, it's bothered me seeing the reactions. I increasingly believe it's more contained to here though, maybe Twitter, I believe. I'm not even gonna check that. However, that all being said, again, I totally agree. If there are severe issues, it is irresponsible to leave it up to Valve. This is not their game, this is their platform. Valve should step in at this point, and it's fair to warn others of this. I just wish the proper context for why the game is in this state was acknowledged, and the fucks who actually caused this got the rightful blame. Anyway, I was lost everything I had to say to someone approaching this in good faith, like I'm assuming you are, to be clear. I might post separate threads. Boom. So, before I read anything else, I agree with this. Again, doxing him wasn't the right play. It's actually unnecessary as fuck. But also putting the title, because there is a bi title, a lesbian title, a queer title, I believe. There's a lot of titles in the game, and the straight title, one, you made it a joke. I get it. People are not going to all like the same shit. It's just how it is. But a title shouldn't have been in quotation marks. I don't care. You can fight me on that if you want to, but it's just not fair, because we're all about inclusivity over here. You didn't put quotations around bi, you didn't put quotations about lesbian. You made it very, very, very on point to make the straight title with quotation marks. For what reason? To be honest, I honestly think if the game dev did just put the straight title by itself and then made another joke title in that way, I don't think this would have happened. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think this would happen. Shoot, if he just put straight and left it alone and gave it a reasonable price, or price it just as much as the other, the other titles, this probably wouldn't happen. This is hindsight 2020. I'm not saying this is right, but I feel like if they did the correct thing, which was just not make it a joke, this game would probably be way better. These comments wouldn't be dropping. I'm gonna go check the reviews after this, but I feel like a lot of this wouldn't have happened. So in closing, personally, I feel terrible for how the developer was treated. The developer shouldn't have been doxed. No matter what the circumstances was, the developer should not have gotten doxed. Granted, yes, I do stand with the idea that the developer shouldn't have put the quotation mark straight title. Yes, it's a title in a game, but at the end of the day, you still have to be inclusive. Now, I'm not big on titles at all, so it doesn't really affect me, but some people really like titles. Those people, they felt away. They felt away because it seemed like you were making fun of straight people. Again, it's not right. No matter what the circumstances, that's not right, because you made it a joke, then you also made it expensive to get in the game, which that's another fucking thing in itself. So it's just like, it's a sticky situation. And because of the actions that the dev took to make that joke, if the dev did not make that title, none of this would have fucking probably happened. And well, I can't say that because hindsight's 2020, because it still could have probably happened, and it might have probably still happened no matter what the circumstance was. But I feel like the game's life would have had a little more in it if that title wasn't made, unfortunately. And I'm not gonna go further into detail or further research on like Twitter or anything like that, because I'm not doing all that. I'm not even gonna sit there and waste my time to make a Twitter account to just find out information about what exactly was doxed. He got doxed. The game dev got doxed over a title. That sounds crazy, but you have to further look at the intricacies of what exactly was the issue versus just saying it, oh, he got doxed because of a title in a game. In reality, there is a reaction to the said title that he made a joke. Being doxed is just not cool. It's never been cool. You fucking dickheads need to stop doing that to people. It's not fucking right. It's actually very inhumane. It's just terrible all around. So let me know down below what you guys think about the whole situation. Again, doxing is bad. We all know this. But do you agree that the game should be cut from Steam and stop being sold, or do you think that the game shouldn't be updated no more and people just have to deal with it and get on that game on their own leisure? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you on the flip.